We'll get a notification right here. Live.
Hello, everybody. Tonight is the debut episode of Sounds Like Six, our first live for Sounds Like Six and Season 2. I'm your host, Bunny. I'm joined tonight with Raymond Saylor, Robert Starnes, and Andrew French. Guys, how have you been this off season? How are you doing tonight? And what are you most looking forward to?
Guys, I will start this because, man, does it feel good to be back. We have run some excessive BS. French, Bunny, you guys have joined us on that, and we appreciate that, especially all the followers that's joined in. But, man, it is so far away still, but yet we are, what, 4 weeks, 5 weeks out? So, man, I'm ready. Maybe not. Florida State's probably going to shit the bed this year, so we're probably not going to be so hot on that. But man, you know me, I bleed the garnet gold. But man, it feels great to be back, guys. I love it.
Yeah, ready for this football season. Not to give a little spoiler alert or anything, but pretty excited about football. But kind of excited to talk some ACC tonight too.
Oh yeah, I've been good. Excited to get back into the swing of football. We're on the countdown. It's going to be great. Next couple of weeks, we got a lot to talk about. So ready to get at it.
All right, let's jump straight into it. Let's jump out here to a hot topic. What is your teams to watch this year coming out of the ACC? There's a lot of news, new faces, new places, some old guys that may need to get kicked out. I'm kind of wearing one, but, you know, French, start us off. What is a team that you need to watch this year in the ACC?
I think this year at Louisville Bunch is going to be pretty good. I think they might get a run. They might, they might push and get a good high seed in playoffs. I'm kind of excited to see what Mensa can do now that he's in, at darn green and orange and white since he jumped ship from Duke. So, it's ACC. I think it's going to be a tough battle there at the top because we all know there's going to be about 4 teams that's going to, give a run for that ACC championship game. So, say if Clemson can bounce back. Dabo had a pretty tough season last year, so there's a couple we're gonna look at and see what we got going on.
Yeah, and speaking of that, before we get really in the heat of things here, French, we've had some more changes in the making, and that's thanks to your Blue Devils making the championship last year with a 6-6 record. ACC's trying to change that into a different format now. We'll see how that goes. So nothing new this year, but it's definitely in the works. So I'm interested in checking that one out.
Yeah, I think football's getting ready. This ACC's kind of hit at the top of it's going to be very competitive. I'm kind of excited a little bit I've got an underdog team I'm really excited about, and I think that's the Virginia Tech, man. I think they're going to turn it around this year. They got a new coach. They're kind of my dark horse team, kind of who I'm almost a little bit excited about, not being a true ACC fan, but a football fan.
Well, Virginia Tech's kind of like home for us. You watch the local news, it's followed. Virginia Tech, the Hokies are who's being followed. So, I've told Bunny, I know I've told you, speaking of the coaching change there, which I know we'll touch on it a little bit more. I think it's a great hire for Virginia Tech.
Oh man,
I don't know that it's a great fit for James Franklin though.
I think he's going to adjust good.
I think he'll adjust good, but I don't think this ain't his end. This is a stepping stone for him. This is a bridge just to get back on track, I feel like.
Well, it's like I told you earlier. James Franklin at Virginia Tech could easily stay there for years, going 8-4, 9-3, what he was 100%. Doing in Penn State.
Well, 100%. Yeah.
And I
and they'll
think
be
he'd
happy.
Absolutely.
And if he gets a home run sometime, I ain't talking about a home run as a natty, but you can take that as a natty. But if he gets a home run season, something that's above that expectation, like you say, something that's outside of that 8-4, but to the good side of that, he hits a 10-win season one year. I think that turns into multi-million-dollars. And why would you want to leave? Especially if you just had one of them seasons. I ain't saying this is his season, but I do think
they'll be tough.
I think they have more success than what they did last year, and I do think that.
I do, and not only that, but he's going to have 10-2 seasons. He absolutely is going to. But the thing about it, he's had a taste of that Big Ten. Virginia Tech's only been in one national championship game, I believe, in their historic franchise there, and that was in 2000 against Florida State when they had Michael Vick. I don't know that they've been to another one.
Well,
so he knows he's not going to win it.
Yeah. I mean, with the atmosphere there, everything that surrounds that program, they've had two other coaches in between Beamer and Franklin. And what he was able to do in the Big Ten with Ohio State, with Michigan, then you added Oregon, these other teams that's coming in. And even Michigan State would have a run there as a top 4 team from time to time. But looking at the ACC right now, you have somebody like Louisville that's kind of that, the sister's wife type deal. They're always kind of around the top, but never really that great. Then you have Miami that's really climbing right now. They're hot right now. You have Clemson with Dabo that's kind of took a slide back here in the last few years, but still semi-relevant. And then you've got a historic team out of Florida State that's really down. I mean, can they come out of that? Of course, Florida State can come out of it, and they will eventually. But we'll get into them and everything else later on. But right now, for somebody like Franklin coming into Virginia Tech, this is the best time for him to show up.
Agreed.
I think you could control your own destiny here, so to speak.
Yeah, and absolutely, this is you're spot on. Everybody, the ACC is probably in the worst shape. No, this is not a knock to Duke and French or anything. But being an ACC fan, the ACC I feel like is at an all-time low right now in college football.
And what's bad, it's at a low right now. But you have plateaued several teams that there's no dynamic difference. Like at any given point, for years upon years, historically North Carolina and Duke's been bad. But here in the recent handful of years, they're getting better and better. But you have the likes of Virginia Tech, you have the likes of Florida State that's taken a step back. Miami's come back to relevance. Clemson is still up at the top of the ACC. Then you have somebody like Pitt.
He opened up. He finally went after the portal also.
Yeah.
And that opened his game. And I think once he gets the hang of the portal, Dabo will be back on top in the ACC.
I don't know that he's going to have that opportunity, though.
I think he will.
You think he's going to have that opportunity?
I think he will. He was making the choice to not recruit.
But he ain't been way down and had 7 wins either or nothing yet.
That's what he broadened his expansion, and he's now into the portal.
But he's got to have that instant success, or he's going to have that season.
That's the portal. They want the instant success, though.
I don't know that's going to.
I don't think it'll be this year.
That's what I'm getting at.
I think they will be in the ACC championship game just because the ACC is so far down.
Well, I'm going to throw in here, keep this segment rolling. My kind of team to watch that I think has that potential to exceed their ceiling is NC State. David Dorian, he's been there for a few years. They have experience at quarterback in C.J. Bailey. So I think they're a team that's probably sitting around 9-3 right now. But if they could get rolling and knock somebody off, I think with experience at quarterback, a head coach that's kind of starting to build stability in this conference that we just spoke of, could make a run and maybe threaten a team to maybe on the outside looking in to go to Charlotte.
I mean, we're still talking about NC State, though.
Thank you. Yes.
You know, they're always going to be middle of the pack. Yeah, they might win a game that they're not supposed to win because of the experience that, Dorian's got with CJ Bailey. But it's still NC State. They'll find a way to choke it away.
They will. They'll be on par, like you said, French, of a 6-5 or 6-6, 7-5.
I mean, look at the experience that Georgia Tech had last year, and they were rolling right along, and then one little hiccup.
Yeah,
and they were out.
And that's all it takes. But
yeah.
All right. So moving on, Raymond. We'll start with you on this one. What is a team that you think this offseason has way too much hype?
Way too much hype. Looking at it here, I'm going to go with too much hype based on what you boys are going to predict here. French, I didn't catch who you had or what you had as their record. I don't feel like Louisville is going to be that 10-2, 9-3, 11-1 team. I think Louisville is going to finish middle of the pack here, like always. And there's going to be a lot of hype about Louisville right now, just for the mere fact we've preached about it, the ACC being down. Their schedule isn't that tough, but I feel like Louisville loses 2 games that they should not lose. That knocks them off of that 9-3 potential and pops them to a 7-5. I think it's there for Louisville, but like every other Louisville team, even when Lamar was there, it's high-powered offense. You got to show me a defense from Louisville before I'll have faith in them.
Fair assessment there. Since this is all about each and our own picks here a little bit, I'll agree to disagree, and I'll say my overhyped team in the ACC is going to be the Clemson Tigers. I think that Dabo takes another step back even farther. I ain't saying he's necessarily getting fired or even having a losing season, but I don't think he's going to have that 10-win season. Still don't think he's going to have that 9-win season. We've got our little preseason kind of picks here of the ACC. I'll probably make a few adjustments still over the next few weeks, but I just filled mine out tonight. And I've really got them at 7-5, even though I could see myself there's 2 games that I'm very questionable that I almost want to give him wins for. But I think he takes a step back. This is his kind of first year in the portal.
And that's going to be big.
It is.
It's going to be very big for him.
But it's hit or miss.
It is.
And I mean, and he ain't made significant changes in his staff either to hire somebody who knows what they're doing to navigate this portal. I mean, it's still it's old guys that's never done it and only doing it for the first time.
I don't mind that pick being a dark horse there, overrated guy there. I don't. I want to see it.
Yeah.
Personal feelings putting in there. Yeah, I want Clemson to fail.
I'm kind of not necessarily saying I'm high on Louisville, but I do. I think they finish above Clemson. I think that not too far-fetched for me to think that they're up there at that 10 wins. And it's there for me a little bit.
Well, I went a little bit of a different route here. I think that this team is going to be in the position that they want to be in at the end of the year because of the conference. I don't know that they will repeat what they done last year, and that is Miami. I think they're putting a little bit too much stock into Miami going into this year. Yes, they went out, they got Darian Mensah from Duke. They were in the national championship game last year. They had the run. they also had a decent road to the national championship in the games that they played. We seen what they done against Indiana. Now, do I think they're a good team? I think they are a good ACC team.
Yes.
I don't know that you can go out here and put them up against a Georgia, Indiana, and Ohio State. Some of these teams that's going to be in the playoffs, or I feel like it's going to be in the playoffs at the end of the year and make a run for the national championship. But I feel like that as a whole, even Raymond will probably say it at some point during this conversation. I am a hidden, backwoods Miami guy, but I think people are putting too much into them. And somebody, who can you get? What coach? And I think that's my biggest question mark, is the coach that is in Miami.
He's good. I don't like Cristobal.
But can he get out of a player what some of these other coaches can? Can he take a 3-star and get out of him a 4 or 5-star rating? I don't think so. I think he's just getting the talent and they're carrying him.
I mean, possibly. He had Beck last year, obviously, but I wasn't sold on Beck, man. I wasn't Beck. I've said it and I've said it and I've said it. He plays so much like Joe Flacco. It is ridiculous. It's 50-50. You don't know what you're getting. He may throw for 500 yards and 6 touchdowns this game. Next game, dude, we could be playing, Tusculum or somebody small, and he'll go out there with 6 interceptions. They'll find a way to win. That was one thing about him. I mean, he was clutch in fourth quarter. That last drive, man, he was clutch. But in a way, I have to say Cristobal, it's kind of what he's been doing, though. Because look at Miami. They've been down bad before he got there.
They had. But what I guess with me and him was that Boston College, Georgia Tech, somebody like that, he blew that game.
Yeah.
It was like 2 years ago. And it was in Miami, if I'm not mistaken. He had the lead. He just should have run the timeout, ended up giving the team the ball, and ended up. It was stupid.
Yeah, with like 30 seconds left. Yeah. He could have needed it.
Yeah.
I remember that. I don't remember who that was against. French, do you remember who that was against? You're pretty good at remembering that stuff.
No, not off the top of my head. Won't take me just a second to find out.
But I want to, since French is back real quick, we'll stay on the Miami theme here. Since I wanted to wait to bring this up. You mentioned Mensa. Man, this is why they need rules and regulations, because Mensa absolutely screwed Duke. And that's why I've sort of got him a little lower right now. And I hate that for French, because what did he decommit, or the very next day or something like that, wasn't it, French? Like he signed that big huge deal and then was gone the very next day.
No, I mean, he had already signed the big deal. I mean, that was part of his, when he come in last year, he signed a 2-year contract.
Okay. But either way, I mean, he screwed you guys.
Then he had to turn around and had to, I'm pretty sure, last thing that I saw, he had to turn around and back pay for this year, had to pay it back to Duke because of breach of contract.
Yeah, good.
But the game that Miami blew was in 23. I think that was the one it was against Georgia Tech, got beat 23-20.
That's it.
Yeah. But I just have no faith in this guy. I think he's solely riding the coattails of talent.
See, I'm complete opposite. I think he's a good coach, unfortunately, and I hate it. I hate every friggin' passion of it, but he's here. I mean, he's done wonders with Miami since he's been there.
But
But
he's also had some good talent, though. I'm like Michael.
that's what Michael's
I mean-
saying. I get it. I do. And that's the thing
You-
about this new, like, Nick Saban. I mean, that's why he got out of college football, guys. And he's probably one of the best all-time college football coaches of all time. But this bullshit of bouncing around is just, you don't know. You can have a freaking two-win damn team be top of the walk if they got the money next year.
I mean, Saban got out. Now it's legal.
Well, okay.
The playing field got even.
Yeah. Yeah. The
I'll
playing
agree
field
with
got
that.
even. Anybody can do it now, and you don't have to worry about getting caught.
I agree with that. But Saban's still going to land his recruits, man, even if he stays.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just the name alone to just say, hey, I got to go freaking play a year under Nick Saban. Who in the hell would not?
So, French, who is your overhyped team?
I mean, I'm gonna say Miami. I mean, they're gonna be overhyped. Yeah, Cristobal does a great job down there, but Mensa, I think Mensa's gonna go to Miami and choke. I don't think he's gonna have the year that he had last year. Because he coming from Tulane. No, I mean, y'all, all these mid-majors saw him and was like, oh, yeah, we see what he's got. But he come to Duke last year and shocked people because they didn't know much about him.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a phenomenal, like once in a lifetime season last year.
Yeah, I mean, now granted, he took his favorite target with him. Cooper Barcade's going with him, and that was his favorite target when he was at Duke. So, you know, it could be one of these things. Miami might come in and run the table. But I see it happening. I've got a bad taste in my mouth, and I hope he just goes down there and absolutely blows it.
I don't blame you. I went there, bud.
All right. So next topic here, impact players. Who do you think is a new face, new place? It could be freshman, whatever, transfer portal guy that is going to make an impact for whatever team he goes to.
I'll jump in here, French, if you want to take it, go for it. But I'll jump in here, and I'm not going to say he's going to be necessarily an impact player, but he's going to be my player to watch. Follow me here, guys. Follow me. It's a long shot. But and I've got this team possibly being decent, but I don't even know how to say his last name. I'm gonna butcher it. It's gonna be terrible. But I'm gonna go with Sagapalutel for Cal. He is a true freshman starting in today's era of football.
No, he's a sophomore.
Again, sorry. I went 2025. That one got me again. I get hit. I've been hit on that twice today, guys. But I'm still interested in seeing what he does here.
He can play.
He can play. Now that you
Like
said
to
that.
see him somewhere besides Cal.
Is he okay? Now that I'm thinking about this is the guy that we were hyped on last year towards the end of the year because he was putting up numbers, and we all talked about him. We wanted him to transfer out of Cal because Cal was terrible last year, even though they beat Florida State.
Yes.
That is why I knew the name kind of sounded familiar, but I was like, it's showing that he's a true freshman. But again, for some reason, everything is pulling up 2025 when I'm trying to read today. Okay. That's still my guy to watch right there. I think he will, and I think Cal will be better, and it goes along the lines of what we've been saying this whole time. The ACC is down. Not only that, Cal has another advantage, I feel like. Any home game, They're all coming to the end. That's 3 hours. Now, on the flip side, their away games are going to be a different story. But they have UCLA, which is in Cal, and maybe possibly Stanford. So that even if they are away games right there, that's not a bad away game. I've got their schedule. Go ahead.
I've got a couple here, just a little bit. I went with a different team a little bit. I went with a Louisville team. I think the Louisville's running back, Isaac Brown. He's explosive. He's quick on his feet. He's shifty. He led the entire FBS with 8.8 yards per carry. Had 884 total yards of offense, 7 touchdowns. I think he's going to turn it on and have another year and just build upon that and help the Louisville team boost themselves to the top of the ACC.
So Louisville team's going to be watching. So you're on mute, Frenchman.
So I've got a couple of guys here. I actually went on the defensive side of the ball for 2 of them. Go ahead, knock off my offensive guy, Billy Edwards Jr., North Carolina. He transferred from Wisconsin. In 24, he had 2,800 yards, 15 touchdowns, 9 interceptions for Wisconsin. Last year, he went down with a bad knee injury and was out the year. And he's kind of been dealing with that for a couple of years throughout his playing career. I think this is somebody that can go from a team into a Carolina team that's not expected to do a whole lot. 2,800 yards, 15-9. Wisconsin's a running school. And for somebody to go in there, put up decent, okay numbers, go into a program like North Carolina, he may be one of these guys that gets shock us middle of the way through the season if he can stay healthy. Going into the defensive side of the ball here, I put somebody early enrolled for Virginia Tech, Amari Poldor, cornerback. He's been there through the spring. He already has shown impact in the preseason and the spring camp. He's a freshman, and kind of everybody's like, hey, guys, this is a guy that you need to watch. And it's one of the guys that Franklin was able to keep at Virginia Tech. Speaking of Louisville, DJ Waller Jr., I know that we've heard him, Kentucky, transfer. He's 6'3", big cornerback. And I think that he'll be able to fit that ACC mold a little bit better than the SEC. But you're able to go from a bottom feeder school like a Kentucky, go to a Louisville program, and now you're starting to play up. And being in that secondary, I think we're going to see quite a bit from this guy, probably middle of the way through the season, and he could be hot.
Oh, I want to add a little bit to what you said there with the Wisconsin transfer. Real quick, he's going to North Carolina. We all know this. If there is one thing that Bill Belichick can do, that is put a line together. So imagine what kind of line Belichick will have for his quarterback and running back, because we know with Tom Brady being there. Now, the only thing that worries me, he has not had a good track record with running backs throughout his tenure, but he can build lines. But I mean, you got Tom Brady. I'm not taking it out of his hands either. So that's the only thing I wanted to add there. North Carolina, I could see that going either way, because he's not got a good track record with running backs, but he has a great track record with lines.
Yeah.
Let me jump on in there too and push French on down the line one more second before he gets started. I got one more I've got to add. We talked about start the show. We talked about overhyped teams and kind of who we thought was a little bit of a dark horse. I'm still going to stick kind of the theme to this show when I'm speaking a little bit about James Franklin and Virginia Tech. I think Ethan Grunkmeyer, that's a guy that come in and took over when Drew Aller could not at a Penn State team. That's coming in there to Virginia Tech underneath his same old coach that he's used to. I think Virginia Tech's could be assembling a little bit. I ain't saying they're winning the championship, but definitely
They're there.
I think they're going to build on what they had, and they're already a middle of the road team. So the only thing from middle of the road's one or two more steps, and you're at that championship level. You know what I mean? So I think we see improvement there as well. The quarterback, Ethan Grunkmeyer, man, he throwed for over 1,300 yards last year, and that's not a complete season either. It was a 7-game starter after Drew Aller went down.
Yeah.
And got that D1 top tier Penn State pedigree to play there. I mean, the kid's got to have it, or Franklin wouldn't have him on the roster, and he's your man now, and everything's being built around him at a new place.
Absolutely.
Where he had success at falling behind Drew Aller, yeah, that was his team while he was in there, but it was built around Drew Aller, not Grunkmeyer.
Yeah.
All right, sorry, French.
Oh, you're good. There's a couple. Number one is going to be the running back coming in, transferred in from Michigan to Georgia Tech, and that's Justice Haynes.
Yes. I forgot about that one.
That's a good one.
Because, I mean, we know he's a big guy, big, strong, and we know Brent Key. What's he going to do?
A triple option.
He's going to run the football.
Triple option.
That's one I kind of, I highlighted there. Also,
Man, imagine if Haynes and King were together.
Yeah, that'd been pretty good. That'd been a pretty good backfield. It'd a big, strong backfield.
Yeah.
Another one. You're looking at. He didn't transfer in, but he's a new face. Christopher Viziani for Clemson. He's going to be probably taking the snaps for Dabo. I could be wrong, but that's what I've seen. Going to try to bounce him back. We talked about earlier, last year was the first time Dabo's not hit 8 wins since 2010.
Wow.
So for
15 years.
15 years, he won at least 8 games or more.
Wow.
And then Walker Egate. He's going to be the transferring in from San Jose State to Duke. We hit the jackpot last year. Getting Mensa in. Maybe Manny knows what he's doing, and he's brought in somebody that can fill the shoes of Mensa. So excited to see what all them boys can do.
I want to add one more here. It's a smaller school that we don't talk about as much. But I was sort of looking a little bit earlier when I was doing some research on some stuff. That is a backup quarterback that I want to put on everybody's radar. Right now, he's a backup. It is for Wake Forest. His name is Deshaun Purdy. He's a transfer as a freshman from Charlotte. Right now, he is a second stringer. He threw for over 1,800 yards last year at Charlotte. I am interested into seeing how long their current Ashford right now, who transferred from South Carolina, Auburn, and Oregon. So this guy's bounced around. So that either tells me he's, one, not good enough and cutting it, or two, the coaches are not playing him for a reason, because he's played at 3 pretty potential D1 schools. So there's something there. This backup Purdy, it was the first thing that you look at Wake Forest quarterbacks, and they're mentioning this cat. So I really think that he is going to be potential before the end of the year. So
yeah,
All right. So moving on. Before we get into records, hot takes, our ACC championship predictions, we're going to throw something new in here for everybody. It is the Guess the Player. Zachary does the Guess the Driver on Moonshiners Racing every week. I love this segment. So kind of carrying it over, and you'll see a rendition on kind of each of her shows from here on out. But I'm going to pick a player. The first 4 weeks while we're doing the previews, it will be highlighted in the respective conference. So to give you all guys a clue, without Googling it, it is a ACC player. So here's your hints. And at any point in time, make your guess. You get 3 guesses apiece. If nobody gets it, I win.
Do you give us more hints each round?
I'm just going to continue going
Okay.
until I'm out, but you all get 3 guesses.
Oh
Oh
boy.
man, that's so,
Okay.
I ain't liking this. I got put on the spot.
I have a feeling French is going to dominate this.
Yeah, he said
I do
Google it
too.
right now.
Don't be Googling
He's
French.
got the Google. We can't prove it. Yeah, hands up, hands up.
French is good at this.
This player was born in 1991. He is from Cincinnati, Ohio, went to St. Xavier High School. As a junior in 2007, he had 147 tackles, 6 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 3 fumble recoveries, 2 interceptions, and a touchdown. He helped his team go to a 15-0 record, winning the Division I Ohio State title. Coming out of high school, well, in his senior year in 2008, he had over 130 tackles, a sack, 3 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries. Who?
Ray Lewis.
No. He was a 2-time All-Greater Catholic League selection for St. Xavier and got first team honors in 2008. Coming out of high school, he was only a 3-star athlete. He was a ACC Athlete of the Year in 2012. Defensive Player of the Year in 2011. He was the Defensive Rookie of the Year for the ACC in 2009. 3-time first team All-ACC. He did have his jersey retired. He was the tackles leader for the NCAA in 2010 and 2011. 2-time solo tackler of the year for 2010 and 2011. He was a consensus All-American in 2011, unanimous All-American in 2010. He won the Jack Lambert Trophy in 2011, the Butkus Award in 2011, Lott Trophy in 11, Lombardi in 11, Bronco Nagurski Trophy in 11, Art Rooney in 2017. He was a 3-time Butkus Award winner in the pro, 2-time NFL combined tackle leader in 2012 and 2014, 7-time Pro Bowler, 2-time second team All-Pro, 5-time first team All-Pro, Defensive Rookie of the Year in 2012, Defensive Player of the Year in 2013. His NFL career stats was he had 1,092 total tackles, 12.5 sacks, 18 interceptions, 66 pass deflections, 7 forced fumbles, 9 fumble recoveries, and 2 defensive touchdowns.
Did you say what college you went to?
No, he ain't gonna give us that clue.
No.
What about what NFL team he played for?
No.
Of course, you'd have to go defense. Somebody that don't really.
His pro number was 59. His college was 40.
Wasn't Luke Kuechly, was it?
Boom.
Luke Kuechly.
I about guessed him earlier. Honestly.
Well,
I don't like this game.
I was about to guess Luke Kuechly because I was trying to think, man, but I wasn't for sure if he was in the ACC or not. Where did he go to school?
Boston College.
Okay.
The
Yeah,
reason
had to
why
go
I
to
did,
had to go to a school that nobody really pulls or pays much attention to.
when I started looking this up, you know how many people went to Florida State and North Carolina? I was like, I can't pick any of these two.
I would have guessed from the years as you was going on. I was like, this might be a Florida State guy.
I knew it wasn't a Florida
It might
State
be a
guy.
Florida State guy. It's definitely a big guy though.
I was thinking trying to do college, but then he started NFL, and I was like, man, there's only a handful of people. I said Ray Lewis.
That was a good guess. I thought that was a good guess when you guessed that one.
I said Ray Lewis, but then I didn't think about he was 90s.
Yeah.
Over.
And so I was like, that was dumb. And so like that time frame, like when he played for Carolina, that was his heyday, was that 2010 era.
Well, and that's the reason why I went with him. It wasn't a relevant, really close to time frame Clemson player. It wasn't a Florida State guy. There was a couple of Duke guys that I looked at, but I tried to keep it off of our teams.
Hey, I'll take it. Jordan guessed it. Give guessed it. I don't know if he looked it up.
He probably looked.
He looked it up.
He's cheating.
Jordan, you ain't getting props.
He's cheating.
You ain't getting props.
Okay.
We'll wait for his comment here. I know he's gonna say something.
I'm gonna stick up for him. He give me a birthday present. He got that on his own. He got that on his own.
He's all nice. He's a nice little fella every now and then. Yeah. So Luke Kuechly.
Yeah.
Ryan might have knew that. Ross might have knew that if he was on, being a Carolina fan.
So, and once we get through these first 4 weeks, it's going to get easier to give more information and stuff like that. It opens the pool very large, and I will be able to kind of pull somebody from our teams, but, you know, we knocked out several of the ACC here.
Yeah.
So moving on. Here's how we'll do this. We'll go alphabetical order. Just to keep it simple. That's the way the spreads go. We'll kind of discuss what we think about this team and just keep it rolling. At the end of this segment, we'll give our hot takes and, of course, our ACC championship predictions. So starting off, let's go with Boston College. I'll give you mine first. I have them as being a bottom feeder team here. I have them at 3-9, only picking up wins against Maine, Rutgers, and Syracuse.
Say that one more time at the end. Me and Robert were using the same screen. I apologize.
Okay. No, you're good. Is Boston College, I only have them winning against Rutgers, Maine, Syracuse. Everybody else, their 3-9 team, I think they're going to be at the bottom of the ACC. Maybe it's definitely not the worst team, but sitting at 3-9 going into the season.
I've got them winning the same 3 games, but I've got a highlighted game in there that I'm giving them the win on, just because it's a road or a home game for Boston College. You know what game I'm talking about on there?
Florida State?
No. not yet. I have that game highlighted. I think that game will be a tight game. But Pitt can't play at home. Pitt can't play on the road, so I give the advantage in that game to Boston College.
Agree with both of you that they're going to kind of be on the bottom of the ACC. I actually have them on the very bottom of the ACC. That's where I got them at a record of 1 win. But I do really think that they'll probably pull out those 3. I do. But I still think that even with 3 wins, that very well may be the bottom of the ACC.
I've got him at 1-11 myself, and the only game they got winnings against Maine.
That's what I had it on. Just a quick feel out through there. That's what I had.
I thought you said Miami, French. I was like, what?
No,
But
Maine.
I do agree with Raymond though that yeah, on paper I want, and I did give who'd you just say? Pitt. I did give Pitt that win, but as I was filling it out real quick, I was like, man, they struggle a little bit on the road, and I almost give them that win. And I may even go back and change that before season starts. But I'll be honest, yeah, I'm with you, French. I had them at 1-11 too.
French, I've got the Florida State game highlighted, and I have the Syracuse game highlighted. Those are my 3 games that I think can go either way with Boston College. That's Pitt, Florida State, and Cuse. But I've got them 4-8.
And for me, with that Florida State team, it depends on where they are mentally at that time of the year.
I don't think we'll have Norville as a coach by week 10.
I don't either.
I've been saying it for a couple of years now, and he's still there. But, Robert, kick us off here with Cal. What do you have Cal sitting at?
Not much better either. Not much better either. I don't know about you guys here, but I think they're still at the bottom. I think they're going to play a few games. It's all right. I think they're still a little bit in that Boston College range. I really do. I don't think that they're not much better than that, but I did put them at 3 wins.
French, take it away, buddy.
I've got them sitting at 5-7. I know they're going to be, however you say his last name, he's going to be tough. I've got them winning, starting out 3-0, getting beat by Clemson, beating UNLV, and then they go on a little losing streak against Tech, Wake, SMU. I even picked NC State to beat them with their next win coming up against Stanford.
French, I like that. I'm pretty daggum accurate right there. I've got 4 highlighted, and it's that middle 6 through 9, which you were just talking about.
They've got Stanford at home. I still give Stanford that win, but it's early, and I ain't holding much stock to any of our picks right now. It's
prediction.
Yeah, that's all this is. But I do think that Stanford's not a great team either, and 6-7.
Yeah, I'm gonna go kindly along French's lines. I've got them 7-5.
A little bit better, even.
A little bit. I've got them pulling off the Virginia Tech game. I've got them starting off 5-1. I've got high hopes for Virginia Tech. I do. But Cal is at home, and Tech has to go to Cal, and we'll play probably a 10 p.m. game.
Crazy different there.
James Franklin is used to Big Ten games, which is your 3:30s, 12 o'clock big games. They're not going to be ready. Cal pulls an upset against Virginia Tech. So I've got them at 7-5.
I'm high on that Virginia Tech team. I've got to disagree with you. I'm 3 weeks out on meeting Coach James. Personally, I'm pretty high on that Virginia Tech team.
We should have got him on here.
Raymond, I'm kind of. Go ahead.
Come on now. I wore a Depot Street sports shirt up there.
Oh, son, we got to get him on here now.
Come on now.
We're going to have to.
Raymond, you pulled me. I thought I was really high compared to everybody, but I do have them at 7-5 also. I do have them losing the Virginia Tech game. I have them actually starting off at 2-1, and then they kind of bounce around 500. But I have them closing out the season with wins against Virginia, Stanford, and Pitt. I have them also winning Wake Forest, UNLV, Wagner, and Syracuse. So that's kind of the route that I went. I don't mind the Virginia Tech win for them traveling to the West Coast. I just think talent-wise, Virginia Tech's going to take that one.
I think Virginia Tech is the better team all around, but I think that jet lag, there's just going to be too many factors, and I think Cal's going to be amped for this game.
Argue with Michael a little bit. I ain't got to argue with him on any of these teams yet. You give them a win against Virginia, man. I ain't saying Virginia's good, but I think they're at the top of the ACC. I think they're in the race up there in the top, definitely top 5. I definitely put them there this year.
Yeah, I've got them losing to Virginia.
Do you?
Yeah. I think they lose that game.
All right, Raymond, since we're going in alphabetical order, you kick us off with Clemson next, and French has got Duke coming up.
I don't know how you're going to give me Clemson. I hope I go 0-12.
We get alphabetical order. I just went last.
He don't know his alphabet, but it's okay. No, everybody knows how I feel here with Clemson, but I'm going to go opposite of what you guys have been saying so far. I think Clemson and Dabo figure out that portal. He's going to be pissed. He's going to be playing with a chip on his shoulder. And he's got a little bit of Saban in him when it comes to winning or losing back-to-back games. He's proved that. He does not lose a lot. He's not having another bad season. I've got them 10-2 with their 2 losses being the very first game against LSU because Kiffin, we know that program's going to be good. I think that may be the game of the week that week 1. And
game day will be there.
Okay, I've not heard that yet. So, and then the other loss is to the obvious there, and you guys probably disagree since y'all are not so big on Miami, but I think they lose to Miami, even though it is in Death Valley. I still think they lose.
I do too. I have that same pick right there.
I got 10-2.
So I'm after Raymond.
Yeah, go ahead.
Clemson, not as high on them as a lot. I'm sure I'll be a lot different from any kind of media person, I'm sure. I know there's going to be a lot of shade thrown towards him a little bit too, but I don't think there's going to be too many pick 'em. My quick pick 'em sheet tonight, randomly over, I really put them down there. I put them down there to 7-5, but there's really 2 games on there that I'm probably going to switch, and I bet I'll settle on them at a 9-3, maybe even an 8-4. I don't think I'll stick to that 7-5, but tonight to tell on there, I picked it at 7-5. They've got, I think they're going to lose for sure to. They're going to lose for sure to LSU. I think they're going to lose to Miami. Who else? I really give them. I really put Virginia Tech over them, even though that's probably just my hopeful and being high on them now. And who else did I have them?
Duke and South Carolina.
Okay, yep. I give it to French. I thought Duke would be a good one to pull an upset. They got them at home. Dabo's down this year. South Carolina, that's been a fun game to watch for the past several years.
It's rivalry week.
Yeah,
anything can happen.
That's a fun game to watch, and I'm a true SEC guy, so I definitely had them losing to South Carolina. Duke, Georgia Tech's one that I'll probably flip on, and I'm trying to look at my
Miami and LSU.
Yeah, that really, I might just flip that one. That's the one. That's my Georgia Tech game. That one's the one I might flip it to give them to 8-4, and that's my flip game on them. I guess I'm going to doing any changing between now and the next few weeks.
Sure.
I've got them sitting 9-3.
Okay.
I'm with Raymond. They're going to lose that first game against LSU. They're going to roll off a couple wins against Georgia Southern, North Carolina, Cal, get beat by Miami. And then they go on a big winning streak. And then week number 12, when they roll into Durham, I got them taking the big L to the Dukies.
I get that.
I do
can say
too.
that.
I really can too on that one. That's what I picked with you on that one, Andrew.
Gonna roll into Wallace
Clemson,
Wade and take a beating.
Clemson for me, I've got them sitting at 10-2. I have them losing the same 2 games as Raymond. It's going to be LSU. It's going to be Miami. I do think that Miami Clemson game is going to be really hot that week. I think that'll probably be, one of the go-to games. But I do think Miami's going to pull that one off at Clemson. Moving on, French, kick us off here with the Duke.
Well, I got my expectations really high. I'm probably pretty stupid, but I really don't care. I'm gonna go with it. I've got them going. I've got them going 9-3, being right there in the mix again. First loss being to Illinois. We go to Illinois. That's gonna be a tough one. I actually got them getting beat by Virginia. As they go into Charlottesville, and then when they go to Miami, I got them getting beat by Miami.
I've got them at French. I've got them about the same as they was last year. I've got them at 7-5. I mean, I think they're gonna have another good season. I think 7-5, 8-4 is a fantastic season for Duke when it comes to football. Duke's trying to become a football team. I have no lies to tell you. They were in the ACC championship last year, but they've been in the ACC championship probably more in the past since 2020 than Florida State has. Like, I ain't even, I mean, they're getting there. They're trying. I have them losing in week 1. Tulane will be down because they lost their coach. But we know that offense is powerful. I think Tulane can get it, but I think Duke goes and beats Illinois the very next week. They bounce back and they get on a win streak. They roll off 5 straight and go 5-1. I've got 3 games in the middle of 4 games in the middle of their schedule that sort of got me iffy. One being North Carolina, starting at the North Carolina game. The only reason is North Carolina and Duke. Anything can happen. North Carolina did not perform to what they were expecting. I've got you guys winning that game, but I've got you guys losing to Virginia the week after in Virginia. Also, the Boston College NC State games, I was up in the air on. I think you get both of them, though. I'm giving you both of them. Losing 3 to end the season, though. That's what's going to kill you. You're going to lose to Miami, Clemson, and I think you lose on the road just because of morale at that point is the only reason you lose to Wake Forest.
I kind of feel pretty much around that same way. If we're going to break it down a little bit in wins and losses, Illinois started out pretty strong last year. I give a loss there to Illinois. But I still, Georgia Tech's a game that I kind of had up in the air and kind of just picked Georgia Tech pretty much on the home field advantage there just a little bit. But Virginia's another one that's away, but if you could pull off the Virginia on my list, if you could flip the Georgia Tech and Virginia losses I've got for you, you wind up that 9-win team.
9-3.
And those are 2 games, in my opinion, that you could really win. I mean, I ain't saying you will, but it wouldn't necessarily surprise me, and I don't think it's a shock to me if you could pull those games out, because those are pick-em games, kind of. I think you're evenly good match those competitors there. But I do have them at 7-5 right now, and I really, really may swap them up and between now and the start of the season to give them 1 more to get them to 8.
I've got Duke at 8-4. I've got the 2 automatic losses, Miami, Clemson. Then French, I do agree. I think they slip up in week 2 with Illinois. And I've got them against Georgia Tech. I think that's going to be that slip-up game for them that they probably should win. But iffy. I know you guys talked about North Carolina, Virginia, NC State, but I'm kind of like what was said earlier. You could flip-flop at Georgia Tech, easily post it in the NC State category or wherever.
Yep.
But I do think they have a solid season.
I do too. I think that they're still there. They're 7-5, 8-4. French, they pull out a couple of games there. They very well 9-3.
They won the ACC last year at
That's right.
7-5.
Defend the chance, baby.
And Jordan's agreeing with you, Bunny. He says 8-4.
8-4 from Gibb. All right. Raymond, do you want to take the leadoff spot for this one at Florida State, or do you want to wrap it up after all of us?
I'll take the end just because, like, Dave, Donnie, this is, yeah, just go ahead.
I'll start us out then. I'll start us out on this. I've got Florida State sitting at pretty rough still this year, 4-8. Got them sitting at 4-8. I think they get one with New Mexico. I think SMU, that's a home game for them, but I think SMU's more. I think they get them. Of course, you got Alabama. That's a loss in my book. You get you a win with Central Arkansas at home. Virginia comes in, and I do think you can handle Virginia. Louisville comes in. I give them a L there. Back-to-back L for Miami. Another L coming in for Clemson. I give them a win with Boston College. A loss with Pitt, but Pitt and Florida. I give them still a loss at North Carolina State. I think North Carolina comes in there, but the Pitt away and the Florida at home. Them's two games that I'm going to put consideration to before the start of the season, but 4-8. But if I would change any games, them two right there would be the pick of one of or them both would who I would flop on. And if that happened, we're looking at a 6-6 team. That's the best I believe I can give them.
It's not far off.
But I'll stick to my guns. That way y'all can tell me I'm wrong here in another few weeks. And I did eventually pick them, and I'm a flip-flopper, but 4-8 today.
I hope I can say that. That's a win for me.
I've got them sitting at 4-8.
I think the coach is gone. I think the coach is gone. Sorry, French. I think the coach
Oh,
is
you're
gone.
good.
I don't think he finishes. I think he comes in, and you're looking at, I've got them at 1-3 with their first ones right there. I think when come down to Louisville and Miami, that's back-to-back ones. Clemson's, man, I don't know. I think if he messes up anywhere bad after Miami or maybe even Clemson, I think that's about the time that they're in the towel if they still are sticking to past season, couple season play. I don't think he makes it all the way.
I've got them sitting at 4-8 too. Get the win against New Mexico State. They get beat by SMU. Get that they got to go to Alabama. That's going to be a revenge game for Alabama. I think they take the big L there. Get the win against Central Arkansas, and then the deciding factor will be when Virginia comes in and Virginia beats them. That's when there will be a new head coach for the Seminoles. Then they're going to go 4 straight losses: Virginia, Louisville, Miami, and Clemson.
That's a good pick, right? That's a good pick right there to get rid of him too. I think before you get into the onslaught of absolutely knowing there's a few games you're going to lose.
Yeah,
especially if you did not beat and you lost to Virginia.
Getting beat by Clemson, winning against Boston College. I've got them taking the L as they go to Pitt. I'm a little iffy on this one, but I did pick them at home against NC State, and then of course I've got them getting beat by Florida.
I've got them sitting at 6-6. But I think what's going to happen is they beat New Mexico State. The back-to-back losses with SMU and Alabama, I think that's where he gets fired. I don't think that you go in anything past that. There's no Ty Simpson. Alabama's a little regressed, and I think that's where they go ahead and move on.
That's a good pick. That's a good pick too, right there, because you're going into somewhat of your out of conference play there, and those are games typically you hope to win, and there ain't no sense in getting a crowd excited just to knowing that you might fire your head coach in another game or two, and especially how you're looking at probably some more losses coming in real soon, shortly after that too.
But to wrap it up, Louisville, Miami, Clemson, and I also have them losing at Pitt. But I have them winning the last 2 games of the season. I feel like if they keep Norville there, that is a very Norville year.
It is to win
the season
like that. Beat Florida.
Beat Florida, beat a contender in NC State, and close the year out. I feel like that's a very Norville-esque year. So
Ryan
Raymond,
Glenn, kiss my hind end. I gotta say that, Ryan Glenn. Yeah, Jordan, tell him, be nice. Yeah, I like that. Get on him, Jordan. Sorry to interrupt, Bunny, but I had to throw some shade at Glenn over there. He's aggravating me. So
you're good.
Dude, y'all are spot on. I've got it, Bunny. You're more spot on, but I think we start 2-0. I think we beat New Mexico State and SMU. I think we get SMU at home, just because I feel like there's so many question marks around Florida State. But on paper, we should be the better team. We have to win that game. If we lose that game, the next game will be the deciding factor. And here, we will lose to Bama, I feel. I have this as an L. It depends on how bad that game gets. If that game turns into a 60-point blowout, he will be gone after that game. They will not handle a huge loss. I do have them beating Central Arkansas. I've got them winning against Virginia. All right. I am not going to be on record ever saying Miami or Florida will beat Florida State, because that will not happen. I don't care. You will not hear me say that. So I will give the win to Florida State over Florida at home and in the Orange Bowl. Anything can happen in the Miami-Florida State game, just like the Florida State game. It's rivalry week in that game. Man, y'all know how that goes. Let's go with it. I've got them 7-5, but I do have Norville getting fired. With that being said, I think Florida State has already hired their replacement coach. I think they hired him a few weeks ago. We're echoing. We got a difficulty here, guys. Okay, good. He was a former coach at Texas and Houston. We've seen what he done at Houston. He's the one that got them rolling. Tom Herman is who we just hired for our offensive assistant and analyst to support Norville. I think this is 100% the replacement for Norville. They're already preparing. I think he's gone unless he's safe if they make it to 7-0 and beat Miami. He will be safe this season. That's the only way. We've got 3 big games right there. Bama, Miami, and Clemson.
Yeah.
We can make some noise. If Norville can get his head out of his hind end and make some freaking noise, we have potential. But we don't even have a starting quarterback yet. Daniels, we talked about him last year at the start of the show. He was a transfer into Auburn. He was on the bench in Auburn. We have one of the best backups in Sperry. That is who every Florida State fan is trying to get him to start, and that is Sperry. We like him. He don't look bad. I want to see it, and they will not give him a chance for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know what. Then we have the JUCO transfer that won the national championship in JUCO last year. So I don't understand what Daniels has got. Daniels started for Auburn last year and got benched, I think. Wasn't it? Ain't that how that went with Auburn?
I think so.
Yeah. So just that's typical Norville, man. He went and got DJU. We seen what the hell happened. 2 wins. I don't know. I mean, the way I look at this, guys, is we have a whole new coaching staff except Norville is the only one that has not been let go of. And we still finished 5-7 last year. What the hell is that telling you? Open your eyes. I get that it's the money. That's the only reason they didn't fire him. And there was a lot of talk last year. They actually about pulled Kiffin. A lot more talks than people thought. The reason that was is because our AD was the interim AD or assistant AD or whatever at USC when Kiffin was there. So it was actually a little bit closer than what people thought that it was. Florida State just didn't. They kept it under hat. So we'll see. I don't mind Tom Herman. He is a offensive guy. So let's see what he can bring to the offensive side of the ball, because our offense was so friggin' stagnant last year. We ran the ball first and second down, threw it on third, and we were gone. So we'll see. I'm interested. But 7-5, 6-6.
Barry Carter offense.
Gibby says, let's talk about Georgia Tech.
All right, Georgia Tech here. I've got them sitting at 6-6. I got them losing to Tennessee, Virginia Tech, Pitt, Louisville, Clemson, and Georgia. I have them winning the other 6.
I think that's a pretty good little run of the mix there. I've got them at 7-5 as well, but there's a game that away at Stanford that I put them an L down for, that I really almost want to give them that win to give them a 8-4 record. And I think that 8-4 might be where they wind up at. And as we're speaking, I'm going to make my switch on that too right now.
You going to change that Tennessee game?
Oh, shit, yeah. I'm sorry. There's my mess up. There's my mess up. I was going to say, I thought they was the...
No, you get it to a W. Give Georgia Tech the W there.
Oh, Robert.
Okay. But, yep, I'm going to change my Stanford that I had picked and give them a win against Stanford. And that puts them at 8-4 in my book.
I want to see what they can do without King. You got to be able to produce post King there. Georgia Tech has to get a defense, plain and freaking simple. They have no defense. Didn't have a defense last year. We said that. How many games did King throw for over 500? You know, he had a total of 500, 400 plus yards, all purpose. The man basically was doing it himself, and we seen that when they went down last year. Georgia Tech, I've got them 4-8. I've got them dropping big time. They lost their playmaker with no defense. The 4 wins, I've got them beating Dion in Colorado, Mercer, Stanford. Stanford is going to be terrible, I feel like. And I've got them winning against BC at home. Not much to say on Georgia Tech, guys. I'll flip the 40 y'all on that.
I've got them sitting 6-6. I think that's about as best as they can do. get the win against Colorado at home. Take the L against Tennessee, and they'll roll off 2 wins there with Thurston and Stanford. Beat by Duke, get beat by Tech. They'll beat Boston College. That Pitt game could go either way. Get beat by Louisville and Clemson, beat Wake, and then get beat by Georgia in rivalry week. I mean, they're gonna have. I mean, I don't know much about the Alberto Mendoza, so it'll be one of those things. See what he can do along with Justice Haynes in the backfield. But I do think that they can at least win the 6.
I like their O-line. I think that's where they're going to get the 6 wins, is that offensive line. But moving on, let's go to Louisville. I'll kick us off. I'll be short and sweet. I have them losing in Nashville to Ole Miss, and I also have them losing at home to Pitt. I think that is their 2 losses this year. I think they slip up to Pitt, and Pitt actually gets a win on the road this year.
French, go ahead. You take up behind there on this.
Well, I've got them going 10-2. Of course, getting beaten Nashville by Ole Miss. And the shocker is going to be when they roll into Chapel Hill. I think they get beat by North Carolina. I think they're going to overlook that game, and that one's going to slip up. Belichick's going to have a good game plan, and I think they're going to slip up when they go into Chapel Hill and get beat.
The only game plan Belichick's had since he's been in North Carolina has been that 22-year-old.
She gone.
True.
She gone, ain't she? Didn't they break up?
I don't know.
I heard that.
I've got them at 10-2 as well. I think they really. I've got the loss at Ole Miss, and I've got them at a loss at SMU. Outside of that, I want to say Georgia Tech plays them a little close at home, but I think Louisville's too much for them. North Carolina, they're at home or they're away at North Carolina. I still have them winning that game. I just don't. Belichick is a great coach, but he is outdated. Outside of that, yeah, I think they got it all the way around. I think they're going to be at the top in there.
All right, guys, I'm gonna throw the wrench at you here. I said they're my overhyped team.
Yeah.
I've got them still over 500. I do have them 7-5 still. I still think they have a great year for them. I agree with y'all. I think we're unanimous. The Ole Miss is going to be a wrecking ball this year. They got something to prove, and that's not going to be a fun team to open up your season with, especially on a neutral side. The other losses I have them, I've got them losing to SMU. Talked about him earlier. Wake Forest. I've got them losing to Wake on the road. Or no, at home. I still think that Wake pulls that off. It's not a very far road trip for them. But them 2 games I've got could go either way. I've got them on a 3-game win streak there against State, Florida State, and then Cuse. I got them losing to Stanford. I'm not big on Stanford by any means, but I think this is a big upset. I don't think they're ready, and I think this is the team that bites them. This is their upset. I also think rivalry week, anything can happen. I think Kentucky sneaks in there and gets them one at home. Kentucky's being at home. I'm going to say it. Battle of the Bluegrass. They fought for something bluegrass there. But so I'm going to try. I'm going to go 7-5 there. If I flip that game, they'll be 8-4. So either way, I think Louisville has a good season. I just don't have the hype on them that you guys do.
I do think that their away game at Georgia Tech is a good emphasis game. I have them winning that one, but I could. I want to think about that. If I'm up on my betting on DraftKings by then, I may play the underdog on that card. I don't know.
And Gwen, when we were talking about the North Carolina, when you was talking about it, Gwen just said they actually fired the AD. He said GM. I think he means the AD. Belichick just brought in. So
No, it was the GM. They didn't fire him. He's on paid administrative leave.
Okay. So that could be outside noise for North Carolina. Not that I mean, hell, it ain't gonna bother me any. I got them sitting in 3-9 either way. So
But I'm having some more difficulties. I don't know why my camera just stopped working. But I'm still here.
Well, kick us off with Miami here.
I think
Miami.
Go ahead, Frank. Sorry.
Miami's going to be a wrecking ball, but I've got them going 10-2. I've got them getting beat in week 5 when they roll into Clemson. They go into Death Valley. That'll probably, I would guess that'll be a night game in Death Valley because it's going to be, that might be the game of the week depending on how Clemson starts the year. And then, as bad as I hate to do it, and I don't know if Justin's watching or not, but I got them getting beat by Notre Dame.
I hope he ain't watching either because I really had that pick too, and I've been dreading having to sit beside him here in just a few weeks for when we've got to tell that. But I'll follow you up. I think they're right there too. I have them one better than you. I have them on one loss team this year.
Notre Dame,
and I've got the Notre Dame loss to them. But I really do not like Notre Dame, and I really would prefer to get to change my opinion about that. But I know they can't. I don't think they can be a. I don't know if I've got them picked at 11-1, they could be 12-0. You know what I mean?
I didn't like Notre Dame beforehand, but then when they pulled that off last year with the whole schedule change, that just really pissed me off.
Become that don't sit right with me either. I feel like it's unfair.
Yeah, I've got them at 11-1, losing to Notre Dame. I just think Notre Dame's got the sons of too many great players that they're going to win this ball game.
I got them 10-2. I've already told you who their other loss is. Never picking Miami. Go Noles.
Oh, God.
So, rolling into NC State. Robert, kick us off.
NC State. I'm pretty high on them too, and probably higher than I should be. I've really got them at really 10 wins as well. I think they're going to come out and have a little bit better of a season, but there still is a couple of them games that I probably will flip on and settle maybe with an 8-win season on them. I've got them losing against Louisville, and I'll really probably change my Stanford. They're going away to Stanford, and I just felt like the time difference and all that, but I'll probably switch that Stanford and give them a win there. And I'm looking at it now. I give them a loss with TCU. Sorry, I'm looking on my own schedule. That's the one I'll change right there is the Stanford one, and I'll bump them up one more on my level there, but still mid range. But they have a little bit better of a year than what they had last year. ACC is just a middle of the pack type of.
It is a
type of littered with 8 and 9 win teams. And really and honestly, I think I say littered with that. I think they're going to have 4 that's like that, and then there's going to be a whole bunch of them that's sitting right there at that 6-6 kind of level, 7 wins, 5 wins, right in there.
I know we're getting a little pressed on time there, so I'm gonna say I'll make it short, sweet. I'll go with 7-5. And Gwen and Jordan, I'm seeing y'all's comments, guys. I'm loving it. Keep them coming. But sounds like everybody here does not like Notre Dame, so we have no Weir on here yet. But yeah, I agree with you, Gwen. They should not be eligible for playoffs. But yeah, what do they do? They make a rule where if they finish 13th, they get into the playoffs. Ain't that some shit?
Go ahead, French.
I've got them sitting at 5-7. Y'all are really high on North Carolina State.
I
but
think they're going to do a little more.
I've got them going 5-7. I've got them winning the 5 games that they should win, and that's it.
Yeah, I can see it. I mean, I'm just on the other side, so I absolutely can see it, French.
I'm sitting here with them at 9-3, losing to Florida State, Duke, and Louisville.
No, we'll lose to NC State. You might as well hang that up. We can be the freaking most dominant team there is out there. North Carolina State will beat Florida State almost every freaking year.
I've got them winning that game because it's late and it's at Florida State. North Carolina, I'll lead this one off. I've got them sitting at 4-8 this year, picking up wins against ETSU, Syracuse, UConn, and Virginia. I think they have a rough year, but they do pick up about 4 wins, and I think this is the end of the Belichick reign.
I think that's a good assessment of that team too. I'm treating them just a little bit worse at 3-9.
That's me. I've got them 3-9. I think they duplicate. Belichick's a great NFL coach, but I don't think he's got the recruiting in him. But he only took this job for a stepping stone for his son anyway. So
yeah, I'm right there with you. That's 4. I've got them at 4-8. ETSU, I've actually got them with an upset against Pitt. So I got them at 4-8.
Raymond, kick us off here with Pitt.
Pitt, guys, another team, man. They're usually 5-7, 6-6. I'm gonna give them a little bit of the edge this year. I'm gonna push them over that 500 mark just by a little bit. I'm gonna say they go 7-5. I think they lose to Virginia Tech, BC, Miami, Louisville, and Cal. That's my 5 losses. The only game that's possibly they'll probably win that I could have wrong in there, I think, is BC. But other than that, I think they lose to Cal, Louisville, Virginia Tech, and Miami. So they could potentially be an 8-4 team.
I think that's about the cap on them. I've got them sitting at 7-5 too, but I could give them one.
8-4, yeah.
I could.
Yeah, I've got them sitting at 8-4. I mean, you never know what you'll get out of Pitt. They might be the team that they're not supposed to beat at home.
Yeah.
And then go on the road and play somebody and get whooped. It's just one of those things. You never know what Pitt will do.
If they could play all 12 games at home, they'll go 12-0.
I really kind of I picked them 7-5, but I really want them to feel like they can do 8-4.
I've got them at 9-3.
9-3.
No.
Yeah. And all three losses on the road. I've got them losing at Cal, Miami, and at Virginia Tech. I think they go undefeated at home and pick up a win on the road at BC and finish the year at 9-3. SMU. Robert, kick us off.
SMU, man. I think they're going to be a good team. I've got them sitting with several wins. I'm trying to get my little thing to load here. We're having difficulties on the computer. Will you switch me up there, Raymond?
Yeah.
I ain't getting mine to load. All right.
Here, I'll go up to the top and you can see your record. You got them 9-3.
I've got them 9-3. I think they get a loss with Notre Dame. I think they get a loss, and I told you I've been high on Virginia Tech. I give Virginia Tech a nod there. And I think give a
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame, yeah. Oh, I made a mistake. I got an L right here at Virginia, but I do not want that. I want to give them a W.
So you got them 10-2.
I've got them 10-2. That's where I've got them sitting at.
I've got them a little down. They come into the ACC hot. We all know that. They came in, was in the ACC championship game first year.
Yep.
I've got them starting the season hot. I've got them starting the season 7-1. But then I've got them on a 4-game losing streak to end. The Virginia Tech, Wake Forest, Notre Dame, and Stanford. Stanford because it's on the road. That's the only reason they lose that game. SMU, I want to see if they can, because last year they had a hangover. They did not produce. I think they finished 7-5 last year. They started hot and lost towards the back end of the season. Same thing this year. I got them 7-5.
I've got them sitting at 9-3. They do got Kevin Jennings coming back. So I believe they're gonna pick up where they left off. I mean, Rain, you're talking about it's gonna be on the road at Stanford. Well, it's not that far for SMU to go to Stanford.
Not being in Texas.
So I've got them getting beat by Louisville, Virginia, and Notre Dame.
I've got them at 10-2 also. I've got them losing to Notre Dame and Louisville. I think they can pull off the rest. I agree with French. That Stanford trip's not that far, and they pick up the win there.
Still a 2-hour time difference.
It is. But
not just an hour, 2 hours.
Yeah. I mean, I get that, but we'll go into Stanford here. French, tell us what you think about Stanford.
Well, I'll go ahead and tell you, I got Stanford going 1-11.
Oh man.
Ooh.
Man.
I know Andrew Luck's out there and he's trying to turn the program back around, but I don't think that they're going to compete. I mean, I got the only win being against Elon. I mean, their schedule's pretty tough. I mean, the Hawaii game, that could be a toss up, but I mean, then you roll off Miami, Duke, Georgia Tech, Wake, Notre Dame. Then you get that Elon game, and then you got NC State, Louisville, Virginia Tech, Cal, SMU. So I mean, they've got a pretty tough schedule coming in this year. So I've got them going and finishing 1-11.
Man.
I'll jump in here. I got them
bold.
I've got it is bold, but French is right. I mean, I didn't really notice their schedule that much, but they do kind of have a gauntlet. If you could even call the ACC a gauntlet, that they probably got the worst toss up. But I've got them 5-7.
I had them at 6-6. I'm still right there kind of with you, but nothing to mention. But I definitely feel like that they could definitely get to 500. I feel like they could do that.
I'm more on the side of French. I got them at 3-9. I got them beating Elon, Wake, and I do have them winning the Hawaii game to start the season. Next up, Syracuse. Who wants to start us off here at Syracuse?
I'll start it because this is my down team. I've got Syracuse 2-10. I've got their 2 wins being against New Hampshire and NC State. This is a game NC State loses.
Man. I think that's a little bold too, but I ain't much better. We're still pretty close. I've got a 4-8 on them.
Okay.
So I still don't think that they're doing nothing, and there ain't no much difference in being 2 wins and 4 wins, in my opinion, at all. But definitely not doing too good. Think they get bowl eligible, but I do think that they could easily flip flop and lose 2 more of them games too, and that gets them down in my book to a 4-win team.
Yeah.
So that's
Well,
I feel some more right in that range of. And I don't think I'll do no adjusting. I got them 6-6, but I definitely won't adjust up any. If it was, there's just a couple home and away side games that's flip flop for me, picking it out on a spur of the moment type of thing. 6-6, but definitely don't think they can do no better than that.
well, I've got them going 1-11, possibly 2-10.
2-10.
Yeah.
With the 2 wins being, well, your 1 win being against New Hampshire, and possibly going on the road to BC and beating BC.
See, I'm right there with you, friends. I have the New Hampshire win, but I also have them upsetting Virginia. That's the game that I have them knocking a team off. And going into Virginia here, I'll kick this one off. I have Virginia sitting at 4-8. I think that's kind of the road that they're going to hoe this year. But I do think they start off 3-0. Sorry, 3-1. I have them losing to NC State.
Yeah.
But Norfolk State, West Virginia, Delaware, they knock those off, and they pick up a win right before the bye against Wake Forest.
I've got them. Go ahead, Frank.
I might have lost my mind, but I've got them going 10-2.
Woo!
With their 2 losses coming to West Virginia and Duke.
I have them sitting at 7-5, just over 500. I've got them, Bunny, I'm like you. I've got them starting off 3-1, and then they lose to Florida State, beat Syracuse, lose to SMU, beat Duke. I've got them beating Duke, French. Just being at home game. I think that they can pull it off. I think it'll be a good game. It is my highlighted game. And then I've got them losing to Wake, beating Cal and Carolina, and then losing to Tech.
I'm right there with you. I got them at 7-5, but there's still one game that's tripping me up and wanting to give them an 8-win season, and that is, man, I think they'll stumble. I really want to give them more than that. I really want to give them they go away at Wake Forest. I got that as a loss for them, but I think that's a doable game still yet. And I'll really go back and change this one 100% now that I'm looking at it. They go down and play Florida State away, but I think Virginia will pull that one off. And if I swap that one off, that'll put me at 8-4 for them. And I think I am going to go back and change that.
Oh, boy.
Where do you go?
Florida State. I got them 9-3.
So, French, where you got Virginia Tech?
Well, I've got Virginia Tech. James Franklin, he's going to come in and have a decent year, but I've got him going 5-7.
Wow.
You know, I might be wrong, but that first year, I don't think James Franklin's going to, I mean, he's going to have a little bit of success, but I don't think that he's just going to come in right off the bat and, you know, win a bunch of games.
I got them sitting at 9-3. I think they start off hot, 7-0. Then on the back end, they lose to Clemson, SMU, and Miami. I think that this is a very winnable schedule for Franklin his first year. Definitely above 500, and I think they just kind of get tripped up. But in them 3 games that they do lose, I know 2 of them they're probably going to lose pretty bad.
Yeah.
So,
I've got them at 10-2. I'm pretty high on this Virginia Tech team and James Franklin coming in. I've got them losing at Miami, and I got them losing at Clemson. But there is a few games that's interesting to me. I do think Pitt's a team that can play anybody hard at any given moment, and they're always one I kind of am up in the air about no matter about who they play. But I still give them the win. Georgia Tech's another team. Virginia Tech has Georgia Tech at home, but that's another kind of interesting game for me to watch just a little bit. But 10-2 is where I'm going to settle at for today.
Gwen, you're leaving me on anticipation over here. All I get is wait, and we're all waiting, bud. We're all waiting on you. Got to finish your statement there.
Waiting on James Franklin to roll out these 5-stars coming in, all these coming and hitting this transfer portal. He's going to be doing some moving around, some shifting of chess pieces.
Guys, I am big on Virginia Tech this year. I've got them at 9-3 though. I've got them losing Miami, Clemson. I've got them losing to Cal. I said this earlier. They got to go out to Cal. Franklin's used to playing that early game, so I'm not going to jump on that anymore, but I've got them losing that game as their 3rd loss there.
all right.
Gibbs
Robert,
got them 6-6.
Dang, Gibson. Come on, Gibby.
He's with
Robert,
French.
wrap us up here with Wake Forest.
Wake Forest. I've got them sitting at 6-6, but still the same thing. That middle of the pack ACC. There's a couple of games that I could see about doing anything. I've got them losing at Miami, losing to Louisville. I've got them at a loss at Stanford, but that's one of them games that I kind of want to could think they could win that one too. And then after that, I've got them rounding out with 3 losses at SMU, Georgia Tech, and Duke. But Duke's one that's a point of interest game, and so is Georgia Tech. So I mean, there's really 3 games out of those 6 and out of that 6-6 record that I think could easily be winnable games, and that turns them in from a 6-6 team to a 9-3 team, and that's a significant difference. So I think if they could buckle down just a little bit, I think they've got it and could be that team. Definitely don't think they're up there with Miami. I don't think they're that top tier, but they're close. And if they come to play on the right day, I could definitely don't think it's far reach to see some 8 wins out of them. Maybe even a 9 win, but an 8 win. But I'm still going to settle at 6-6. But I'm glad I don't bet and gamble too much on Wake Forest.
Go ahead, Frenchman. They're lighting you up. Gwen's lighting you up over there right now.
Yeah, I see this. I've got Wake going 4-8. Got them beating Akron, Stanford. I've got them upsetting Cal at Cal, and then whoever this Merrimack team is that they're playing, I guess they're in the single A division with North Green, but I got them beating them and finishing at 4-8.
Bunny, go ahead. I'll pull up here on this one.
I've got them sitting at 3-9. I only have them winning to Akron, Merrimack, and Purdue. And Purdue probably ain't much better than Merrimack this year.
I've got them losing to Purdue. Don't worry, French. Gwen's probably about to get started on me. I've got Wake Forest going 10-2 this year. I don't like that. But
You got them going what?
10-2.
10-2. That's very bold. I feel like you and
You
Chris
lost
have had
your
those
mind?
bold statements tonight.
Going with it.
Ryan, talking about trap sound noises.
Dude, it just worked out that way when I started putting it in. I've got them losing to Miami. I think they can pull off an upset. I think they beat Stanford. NC State's a toss-up. The Cal game, I'll probably change that. Let me change the Cal game.
I had them winning, Cal.
So I've got them 9-3 on that. Virginia, I think they can play with at home.
Too. I had them winning.
SMU, I've already said I got a lot of question marks. Georgia Tech, I don't like Georgia Tech without Haynes King. And I've got them pulling off at home at the end of the year against Duke.
You've lost your mind.
I've got
Gwen said in driver's ed, maybe. So I knew that was coming. So okay, I'll take it. But yeah, I will say that I'm a little far-fetched on that, but it just worked out that way. I'm not really saying that I feel confident about it, but I kept it. 9-3.
Well, now that we've run through all these, who is your ACC championship teams? I've got Miami Clemson. It come out that way.
I've got Miami Clemson.
I like that good, but I'm slowly hoping on to feeling like that I'm high on James Franklin. I think that it wouldn't shock me if he turned around, and I think if he gets a 10-win season that might do it and get him in that championship team. But I'm with you guys. I guess if we're putting pen to paper tonight, that's probably what I go with too. But I do think that Virginia Tech's in that mix.
Miami's
Miami's
a definite. But that second team, you're gonna have a toss up.
I don't know if Clemson gets it done. I just don't think that they're that strong enough to quite still yet this year.
I ain't gonna lie. I would like to see the Miami Louisville.
I like that too. Louisville and Virginia Tech's my two outside of the mainstream. What everybody's saying, that I like them real good too.
All right. Go ahead, Raymond.
I agree. I was going to say, I know we were naming teams we were going to talk about, but I will say my three teams to watch this year in the ACC is going to be Virginia Tech, Cal, and Florida State for the bad reasons, not for the good.
All right. So give me a couple of hot takes. It may not fit the narrative that we have set going through the records, but you could definitely see this happening if it played out correctly. Give me a hot take.
Wake Forest doing really good.
It's not gonna happen.
I think that's a hot take. Really good, as in Duke good last year. They could show up and still had them down there. But there's, like I said, there's about 3 games that I do think that they could win. And if they did win, that puts them in contention, I think, in the ACC.
I think they got the weakest schedule.
I do too. They got an easier path than a lot of them. But do they have that talent? I ain't convinced yet. But there's my hot take.
French, you want it? You want me to?
Go ahead.
I am interested in Cal's quarterback. We've already sort of talked on him, but here's why. not to see how good Cal does this year, but to see if he puts up good enough numbers like he did last year and ends up in a bigger Power 4 school and playing for a national championship within the next 2 years. I'm sold on this quarterback. I like Cal's quarterback.
Well, first of all, my hot take's gonna be Wake is not gonna be that good. Wake ain't never gonna be good.
Probably not.
They're the bottom feeder of the North Carolina teams,
I will agree there.
and a little bit of everything, all sports around. But I'm curious to see how Mensa and Barcake does with Mario. You know, like I said, being a Duke guy and them leaving, I hope they don't do good at all. But I think all in all, the ACC is going to be. I think it's going to fall into about like last year. There's going to be about 5 or 6 teams that they're going to have a certain scenario at the end of the year that's going to happen to get them to pop back in. And hopefully Duke's right there in the middle of it and they get that good scenario again and 2 teams lose and they win and they get back into the ACC championship game.
All right. Well, give me your thoughts on these. First, Virginia Tech finishes in the top 3 in the ACC.
No.
True.
Yep.
Clemson misses the ACC championship game.
Very well could. Yep.
Could happen. I could see it being true, but for this segment and the way that I have the predictions, I'm saying false.
I am going 7 and 5. I think if Virginia Tech or Louisville is a better fit, even though all the media mainstream's probably going to tell you Miami, Clemson, but I hope a Virginia Tech or a Louisville slides in there.
Well, according to the ACC preview and all the preseason polls, Clemson misses it by 2 spots.
2 spots.
Who they got over?
They've got Clemson at the 4.
Louisville.
You got Miami, SMU, and Louisville.
SMU's up there too. I had them picked pretty high too.
SMU's just they've got a lot of returning. They're going to be very veteran led. We've seen what they've done the last couple of years now that they've joined the ACC. And we've said it, the ACC is not the ACC it's been in the past.
Yep.
You don't have the 3 or 4 or 5 teams that can dominate. So SMU, I think, is a dark horse.
Miami makes the college football playoffs, but does not win the ACC.
False.
Yes.
False. I think they can handle. We'll put those other teams up there that we just discussed. We can put a Clemson up there. I ain't too high on them. I think they miss it, but that was a question for us. I think they outhorse them. Virginia Tech, I think Miami's going to outhorse them. I think Louisville is a good chance. SMU's another one, but I still think that I don't think they get that done. I think they win the championship and go to the playoffs.
Go ahead, French. I'm looking something up really quick.
I think that they could miss the ACC championship game and still make it into the playoffs. Because I think their record's going to be they'll miss it by 1 in the ACC and it still could be a 6, 7, 8 seed.
I don't think that it's possible. The reason being is I think they will be in the ACC championship game.
I do too.
It will be them and someone. But if they lose that ACC championship game, as you are saying, that will give them their third loss. Okay. We're going to throw in a little factor here with Notre Dame. Notre Dame sitting there at 3 losses. They're automatically in over Miami, which is bullshit.
100%.
Impossible to do anymore.
CBS money coming into play.
And Gwen, I love the comment about Phillip Rivers. Yes, he has 27,000 kids that could run their whole football team. But at the same time, we have seen how Phillip Rivers plays. Let's just hope he don't hit his lineman like Phillip Rivers did, like an idiot.
FSU finishes outside the top 8 in the ACC.
That's freaking I'm trying to be optimistic.
Yeah, I think they do.
But it's true. It could happen easily.
I think they do finish outside.
What was the question?
FSU finishes outside the top 8 in the ACC.
100%.
I think it could happen easily, but I'm gonna be optimistic and say no as of right now. But yes, I can see it happen.
They might finish outside the top 12.
Wouldn't be the first time in the past 3 years.
All right, and finally, in North Carolina, UNC goes bowling this year.
No.
Mm.
No. I got North Carolina at 3-9. I do not see 3 games of those being flipped. Maybe 1, maybe 2.
I've got them being 1 game shy of going bowling.
So French, you could see it then.
I don't think they will either. I don't think they make it. Belichick's, like I said, he's kind of just hanging on to more money for retirement.
All right. So anybody got anything? Go ahead.
I've got to throw the biggest, boldest hot take of the night that does not come from any of us. This comes from Mr. Gibson. His hot take is Dabo is out regardless. The NIL has passed him up.
Agreed. I have them going 7-5 this year. Definitely do not pick them to be nowhere near a 10-win team. 7-5, but I could still give them a game or 2. But even at 2 games, sets them at 9-3. I don't think that they can make it relevant enough to keep him there. And if they do go 7-5, I think that's Dabo's exit.
Well, boys, I'm just going to throw this out here. Dabo's not going anywhere unless he wants to leave.
I don't think so either.
Do you have anything else to add before we close the chapter on the ACC preview?
I hope like hell we're all wrong and Florida State sitting on top of that son of a gun at the end of the year, though, by gosh. And don't think I won't be every Saturday glued into the TV when we're getting our ass beat by 80. I will still be watching.
All right, well, guys, go ahead, French.
Go Duke. Reigning champions. Repeat.
All right. Well, guys, that is the ACC preview show. I appreciate it. Chat, great job keeping us entertained, feeding us with some information, questions, comments, everything. We will be back next week and preview the Big 12. So appreciate you guys. Join us next week. And this is Sounds Like Six, presented by Depot Street Sports.